Facebook used to be the cool social media platform that came and slapped around MySpace and put it in its grave. All your friends were using Facebook, everyone posting their status. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Posting pictures, talking to each other, it was the place to be. And then your parents and grandparents found it and it stopped being cool. Then it started to be all about how 5G reptilians faked the moon landing, and the government's putting chemtrails in the sky that's destroying our sperm cells and shit like that. Over the years, Facebook has just become like Arkham Asylum for the criminally insane. A fucking disaster of a platform. And today, Facebook made its biggest announcement since it was revealed that they're selling all of your information to everybody ever. They announced that they're changing their name to Meta. Zuckerberg bot gave an inspired 40-second speech where he was once again devoid of even the most basic human emotion. He announced that Facebook is rebranding itself to fit more in line with where it sees itself in the future, and that future is the Metaverse. I'm sure you've all heard of the Metaverse by now since a lot of people have been talking about it, and a lot of older people seem really afraid of it. They're treating it like the next Y2K. You'll have like old Cletus and Ruth like, I'm fucking getting rid of these computers, god damn it, I knew they were from the devil. I'm strapping myself in, getting the shortwave radio out with my old double barrel meat cannon. Puff, puff. Bring it, Metaverse, because they think they're gonna get fucking vaporized by it. But there's nothing to fear here. Just take it from Mark Zuckerberg himself. Let him explain it to you.
Today, we're gonna talk about the Metaverse, starting with the most important experience of all, connecting with people.
Sorry to immediately interrupt here, but why would they have Mark Zuckerberg of all people talking about the human connection? This guy hasn't connected to a human being in the better part of a decade now. If I was part of the upper echelon of Facebook, the very first thing I would do would be to forbid Mark Zuckerberg from appearing in any promotional material involving Facebook. He just makes it seem like the company is run by actual robots and is completely soulless, which it absolutely is. But I mean, still, why have him be like your public speaker for the company? Talking about connecting to people. The only thing Zuckerberg is connected to in the last decade is the electrical outlets to charge his batteries.
Imagine you put on your glasses or headset and you're instantly in your home space. It has parts of your physical home recreated virtually. It has things that are only possible virtually.
Hey, are you coming?
Yeah, just gotta find something to wear. Alright.
I love how the in-game avatar looks more human than the real Mark Zuckerberg does.
Hi.
What's up, Ma?
Whoa, we're floating in space?
Uh-huh.
Who made this place? It's awesome. The Metaverse will be like. Imagine if you could be at the office without the commute. You would still have that sense of presence, shared physical space, those chance interactions that make your day, all accessible from anywhere.
Yeah, if you've played VR chat before, you basically know what to expect with the Metaverse here. That's the impression I get. Obviously, there's a little more to it, especially when it comes to the augmented reality elements, and I do think it's pretty cool, to be honest. Like, I think it's a cool idea if it was anyone but Facebook doing it, but I love the idea of you going to work and you have like a Ugandan Knuckles or Big Chungus skin, and your boss is like, what the fuck is this? And you're like, I'm in my ideal workspace, baby, I'm connecting. I also absolutely love the idea, like the wet dream, of Mark Zuckerberg and his team having a serious meeting in the Metaverse, and 4chan raids it like they did back in Habbo Hotel with the pools closed. They just come in, shut that shit down. Zuckerberg scrambling like, oh my god, get your meta blasters, we're going to war. And it becomes like some kind of all-out, like, absolute Metaverse catastrophe. In the real world, there's not a huge chance that a Facebook meeting gets invaded by people wearing a Shia LaBeouf skin, but in the Metaverse, I feel like that could happen at any moment. Facebook's not exactly known for their optimal security and privacy, so I feel like it's just a matter of time before people figure out how to, like, go into other people's work, kind of like how they already do on Zoom and just crash it. So that'll be pretty wild, and by far the most exciting part about the Metaverse is being able to be advertised to right in your fucking shit, like right up in your shit, you'll be getting ads. Whether it's ads for, like, in-app purchases, like he even mentions in the press conference, like, yeah, you won't even need a full TV, you can just buy like a dollar TV and put it in your house. So just like all of these constant ads for all of these different items and utilities, as well as just different products. Shopping in the metaverse is probably going to be the most intrusive advertising of all time. I don't exactly know how that's going to look when it launches, but I am guessing it's going to be fucking rough. Just picture this, you're kicking back with the boys in the metaverse, you're watching basketball, you got a dope-ass house, you got it placed in the middle of Mordor, and then all of a sudden, football game goes out, bang, it's Zuckerberg, and he's got something to tell you. It's just like, fucking picture a Goatsy, he's like, hey Charles, we saw you visited Goatsy recently, you like spread buttholes, here's some butt plugs, you know, and you have to like exit out of it or wait 20 seconds for them to play their ad or something. It's like, damn, just ruined the whole mood. I was trying to watch football, and now I'm just getting blasted with ads. I imagine it's going to be big on advertising, since this is a way to feed an ad directly to you. It's really easy to ignore ads on a screen, but when you are in there, like in the fucking trenches, living it, I think it's going to be a lot easier to convince people to buy things they don't need. Like, just look at it in the real world. You can sell something to someone's face far easier than you can just passing out flyers or putting on like a commercial. So I think it's going to be a lot more successful from like brands and shit. And I feel like people are going to spend far more money in the metaverse than they currently do on Facebook. That's just a guess. I'm just speculating, but I do imagine that's going to be pretty huge there. Like I said though, overall, I love this future-y idea where we're all just really jacked into the fucking cyber mainframe. I think it's cool. I've always thought that would be cool, and be able to do things in a virtual reality space. Though I don't know if Facebook is really the company to lead the charge and make it the best it can be. Facebook is probably the company I have the least amount of respect for. So it's not like I'm super happy that it's them that's leading this charge. But yeah, I can't call them Facebook anymore. They're Meta. Which, you know, maybe that name is scary enough to get people off of the platform. I know, like I said, old people are already afraid of the metaverse, so perhaps they'll just up and abandon Facebook entirely. Because like, oh my god, it's Meta. They're revealing the true colors. It's Demon 666 Meta. It's evil. We got to get the fuck out quick. So maybe just them changing their name to Meta was enough to scare people away. That'd be pretty fucking cool. But I mean, yeah, anyway, I just wanted to talk about this real quick because I found it really fascinating that a company as large as Facebook would change their name like this. Now, of course, they're in so much hot water with all the crazy shit going on with Facebook right now and all the trouble they're in. So I imagine maybe rebranding from Facebook to Meta was a way of like pushing all of that under the rug. So it's probably more than just like, hey, we believe in the metaverse so much. It's more like, hey, this is pretty helpful timing. Let's just change our name and hope people forget a lot of the stuff we are now being outed for. So that's probably the most likely scenario, the more I think about it, honestly. But I thought it was worth at least talking about anyway because, you know, everyone's heard of Facebook and now it's called Meta, which is a stupid name, to be honest. That's about it. So yeah. It's been a busy week for Mark Zuckerberg. He's become the face of the metaverse, and in return, he's become the punching bag for it as well. When Mark Zuckerberg's not busy sucking the blood from the necks of unicorns like Voldemort, he's making horrifying promotional pieces for the metaverse where he's interviewing people, and it's frightening. It's genuinely like startling. And I just wanted to share the most recent one where he's talking about gaming, and this fucking thing sounds like two aliens having a conversation with one another, but they're trying their best to blend in as humans, but they don't know enough about our culture. They read a single book like 50 Shades of Grey and assume that's how all humans behave. It is startling how not normal this feels. And I get that it's low-hanging fruit to make fun of Mark Zuckerberg, but god damn it, he's such a goofy goober and all this metaverse shit has been so wacky, I can't help but talk about it.
Keep creating. Now, Deb from our studios team is joining me. Deb, do you want to take us through some of the exciting games in the pipeline for Quest?
Absolutely.
I hate to interrupt so early, but Mark Zuckerberg is genuinely made of binary code. I can see the numbers being crunched and the algorithms being run to try and make it appear like he's human. He's like smiling at the weirdest times. It's like an NPC that's glitching out during a conversation in a video game. Unfortunately, the smiling code just isn't complete. This doesn't look human. Like he'll be talking and then throw in a smile randomly, but it looks like this. This is not a normal smile. This is that kind of shit that you fake on Christmas morning when you get socks that you didn't want, but you don't want your parents to feel bad. You don't want them to know that you're not happy with the gift, so you give them one of these.
Over the years, we've had the opportunity to work with incredible developers like Vertigo Games, the studio behind fan favorite Arizona Sunshine.
I love Arizona Sunshine. That game basically got me and my friends through the first few months of the pandemic.
That's awesome. If you enjoyed that, Mark, I think you'll be excited that we're partnering with Vertigo on 5 more great games.
One thing you'll notice throughout the entire interview is the woman that Mark Zuckerberg is interviewing is using a lot of hand gestures, and I'm convinced it's a cry for help. Like she's trying to spell out torture with her hand gestures, kind of like YMCA, but torture. Very reminiscent of that time that soldier was caught in the Vietnam War, and during a press conference he started blinking torture in Morse code. I think that's what's going on here. I can't prove it, but there's definitely something fishy afoot here. There's no reason for her to be like fucking popping and locking throughout the whole interview. There's gotta be a reason for it. Also, that Mark Zuckerberg just told the second biggest lie of his career, right behind the time he said that Facebook wasn't selling user data. Him saying he knows what Arizona Sunshine is and it got him through the pandemic. There's a 0% chance he's ever played that game. You can tell by the way he answered it. Oh, Arizona Sunshine. I do love that video game.
From Deep Silver and others. We'll share more about this lineup very soon.
Nice. What else is coming?
Well, the metaverse is constantly evolving. So one of the most important aspects will be live service games that launch updates and new downloadable content regularly, like Echo VR, Beat Saber, Onward, Pistol Whip, and more. We're focused on this a lot right now.
I don't know if those are hype announcements or anything, like someone right now hearing that and fucking pumping their fists like, yeah, Pistol Whip, let's go. The only game I know there is Beat Saber, and that game does slap for sure. I don't know exactly what's going to change about Beat Saber in the metaverse that isn't currently in Beat Saber, but god damn it, I mean, that sounds cool. But I think a cooler way to announce that would have been by doing literally anything else besides this. This just sounds like 2 Skyrim NPCs having a conversation.
Making sure games can build out active communities. Beat Saber has a passionate community.
Oh, I love Beat Saber.
So do I. And Beat Saber just passed $100 million in lifetime revenue on Quest alone. It's a great example of a game that keeps releasing fresh content.
This has the same energy of the Chris Pratt is so cool thing from Nintendo. Mark Zuckerberg just saying, oh, I love Beat Saber. Like, okay, Mark, whatever, I guess.
They've actually been working on evolving the way that you interact with the tracks and feel the music. Also, the team has been working on something really cool. Check this out. I can't wait to play this.
Oh, Jiminy Cricket, I cummed. Wow, I see why Mark Zuckerberg gave Beat Saber a stamp of approval with an announcement like that. Hooey! Like I said, I like Beat Saber as much as the next guy. I think Beat Saber is great. A fucking talented mapper once mapped the entire Shrek movie in Beat Saber to play through, so I think the game's incredible. But what the fuck is this?
And they keep partnering with incredible artists to release new music packs all the time. Did you play the Billie Eilish music pack last month?
Yeah, a little more than I should have. I probably should have been working more on this metaverse presentation.
Well, they have a great lineup of artists for 2022. And there's one more epic surprise before the end of the year. So stay tuned. Okay, have you played Population 1?
I mean, yeah, I love the game so much that...
For those who haven't...
Ooh, shit. She just cucked the Zuck. Interrupted him as he was about to lie about liking another video game. Apparently he's a huge Billie Eilish fan, and she just came in and then fucking slapped the dick out of his hand there. He was about to go in like, oh yes, actually, Population 0, one of my favorite games ever created, of course, a masterpiece by all accounts. And she said, no sir, not on my watch, putting the kibosh on that shit right away. Interrupted him, and he never tries to get back in the conversation. She just takes it. She takes control.
Population 1 is a thrilling battle royale that is only possible in VR. Since its launch at Connect last year, it has become one of the highest earning games on Quest, and the biggest multiplayer FPS on the platform. You can have up to 24 people in at once for a match.
I won't play any more of this, you get the idea. It's a very weird conversation that just doesn't sound normal. Mark Zuckerberg has this incredible ability to make not only himself, but everyone around him sound and act like robots. I bet she does not normally talk or move like this, but just being in the presence of Zuckerberg, like, fucking lobotomized her and had her like a puppet on his strings. She was the marionette, he was the puppet master, and this is the result. She was probably directed to act this way, like be as human as possible. So then she ends up looking like some kind of crazy cartoon character doing all exaggerated gestures and shit. And it's just so weird. Every time Mark Zuckerberg tries to promote the metaverse or really anything, it's just uncomfortable. I just want to talk about it again. I mean, that's about it. So yeah. I'm sure all of you have seen at least one of those extreme over-the-top PSA commercials where it delivers its message in the most frightening way imaginable, like it's fucking Michael Bay directing it. So like the most popular one I think is the "be careful with speeding," and it's a car that like breaks it out in front of another car and then starts tumbling because it was going so fast, and then it crashes through some bushes into a child's birthday party and just fucking splatters like 8 kids, gets like a goddamn Kilimanjaro Halo 3 style with like just this car blasting through them. It's like, you could have not killed all these kids if you just were going the speed limit. Or another really popular one is workplace safety, and it's this lady who has this giant pot of boiling water, and she's like, I'm about to have a workplace related accident, and then she slips like it's fucking Looney Tunes on a banana peel, slips, throws the boiling water on her face and lets out a blood curdling screech, ah! And her face is melting like Harvey Dent. It's just fucking putting the fear of God in people with its message. Well, I'm sure we've all seen that, but what if we had that level of extreme nature, but for sadness, and unintentionally? Let me show you the most recent Metaverse commercial that's airing during the Super Bowl, apparently. The Metaverse is just getting sadder and sadder with every advertisement. I've got to mute the music here because of DMCA, but it's Don't You Forget About Me. But let's just imagine they were playing like 2019 Guy or a Boner Jam like that here. Yeah, but full-blown Five Nights at Freddy's security breach style shit here. Imagine thinking this is a good idea to get people excited about the metaverse, to make the most depressing scenario imaginable. This is like an ASPCA commercial, but for cyberspace. I think the audience is supposed to relate to the dog and project their life onto the dog's sad existence here, like, man, look how happy that dog was. I remember when I was happy too, singing and dancing, having a hoot and a holler, and then everything just slips away. The melodramatic existence cycle continues. You know, we're just a cog in the wheel of time. The machine keeps turning, life's passing you by, you're down on your luck, falling out of the back of a pickup truck, living on the streets, and then all of a sudden you're caught in a goddamn hydraulic press ready to end it all. I just truly can't wrap my head around this idea at all. Who is this even marketed towards? Emo 18-year-old furries? Like, I don't get the idea here. And the song in the beginning, Don't You Forget About Me, is even more of a tearjerker because it's like Metaverse already knows people are starting to write it off as a joke. So it's like a last-ditch effort. Like, this is very meta of the Metaverse. Like, hey, we know you guys don't really appreciate us and we just took like a 50% nosedive in the stock market, but check out this animatronic dog that's about as depressed as we are. Who's hyped for the Metaverse Quest 2, huh?
Closing time! Get out, please. Stop playing, please. Let's go, folks. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Hoorah! The day is saved thanks to the Metaverse. Some kind stranger just strapped a fucking VR headset to a mascot dog at what I think is a car dealership. I don't even know. Comic-Con or something. I don't really get it. I don't know who would even do that. It's not like a prank or anything. Maybe this dude knew that the machine had a soul. So he's like, here, might as well just lock them in this sarcophagus of the metaverse here. It just makes no fucking sense. Now this poor guy's forever trapped in VR chat, or like the Roblox Meep City, whatever the fuck's going on here in the metaverse. Because he can't take it off. It's not like the dog has any means of getting that headset off, so this is just going to be his tomb. So if it ever runs out of battery, or God forbid a power outage, he's going to be trapped in eternal darkness there. So it's actually a pretty cruel existence. I have to mute the audio again because Don't Forget About Me comes on full blast for its encore. don't forget about me, more like, please forget that this commercial ever existed. So the takeaway from this advertisement, as I understand it, is the only way to escape the meaningless tedium of existence is to retreat into the metaverse. Hooey! Let's go! Metaverse is here to stay! How exciting! Wow, I mean, if that doesn't make you feel good, I don't know what will. Everything Metaverse is doing is like the worst thing it could be doing in every given situation. Every little bit of detail and information they show or talk about with Metaverse makes it more and more of a joke. It's crazy. It's almost like there's someone on the inside purposely sabotaging at every single step. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. And yeah, I just wanted to share this because this was one of the more confusing ads I've seen. This is up there with like that Coke ad where it's like professional gaming for World of Warcraft PvP, and for some reason instead of finishing the championship battle, they all throw down their axe and drink a Coke instead to be friends. At least that has like a feel-good message. This has nothing. It's like, yep, you're miserable? Might as well go to the metaverse so you can be miserable less because you've escaped it now into a fantasy make-believe world. Not exactly like the most optimistic look of the future. That's about it. So yeah. Another day, another out-of-touch dog-shit metaverse presentation, desperately trying to get anyone, anywhere, even somewhat excited about the metaverse. I swear to God, there was more hype around getting the bubonic plague than there has been for the metaverse. People get more excited getting fired from their job than anything involving the metaverse. I bet couples would prefer that their significant other cheat on them rather than join the metaverse. Everything around the metaverse has just been a catastrophic failure at every turn. It's like a star going supernova, but instead of a star, it's a septic tank, and instead of an explosion, it's everyone laughing it out of existence. It is such a joke of a concept at this point. Every single thing the metaverse tries to show or do is immediately mocked because it is so unbelievably out of touch. Today, they did a last-ditch effort to try and appeal to athletes, so now they have Coach Nat entering the metaverse in order to try and get basketball players excited about metaverse possibilities, and it's fucking abominable. This might be their worst one yet. I would rather watch my car get stolen in front of me than watch more of these metaverse presentations. It is baffling. Let me go ahead and show it to you.
Coach Nat, rather than communicate by Zoom, to come down on the stage and demonstrate to everyone what you're able to do at these clinics.
Hello, and thank you, Adam.
Yeah, that is Shaquille O'Neal's voice, and I love Shaquille O'Neal. He's like the Keanu Reeves of sports. He's just so fucking likable. How can you not be a fan of the Diesel? Shaq could beat the shit out of me, spit on me, and leave me stranded for dead in the desert, and I'd still ask for an autograph afterwards and say nice things about him. He's definitely the best part of this awful event here, but you can tell he's phoned it in. It's just a paycheck for him. Now, all of the astute observers out there will have noticed that in the Zoom call, there was a lot of big names. Probably the biggest amongst them was Obama. I don't know why Obama was there. Maybe he was like the chief engineer behind the Coach Nat programming. I couldn't really tell you. I don't know why, but what a power move. Maybe they're crediting Coach Nat for Obama becoming president. Like, without Coach Nat, Obama would have never been elected to office, which would be a crazy selling point, but my God, that would be pretty fucking hype. But I don't know exactly what the Zoom call was about. Maybe they were all brainstorming like, how can I get better at basketball at 80 years old? You know, what does it take? Oh, Coach Nat, the local geriatrics athlete instructor. All right, let's see Coach Nat app. And then they bring him out on stage. I can't find the whole clip. Not that I've looked that hard because I just really like this part. But either way, I like to just imagine Coach Nat is credited for everyone in that Zoom call's success, no matter what it is.
Holy cow. I mean, we'd heard a lot about him during the pandemic, but I'd never stood next to him.
My role is to help coach, train, develop the next generation of NBA talent. I know all the best moves and am untethered by one single dimension. I can even make a free throw.
I don't know what it is about the metaverse where they have to choose the absolute laziest character design of all time, but they just have Coach Nat looking like a zombie, like a reanimated corpse of a basketball player at some point. And it's the same thing from like their Super Bowl commercial where they didn't even bother putting legs on any of the avatars. Second Life does a better job than Metaverse. fucking VR chat does a better job than the metaverse. It is baffling how unbelievably lazy and out of touch the metaverse is. I don't know too much about the modern NBA, I haven't kept up in quite a few years, so I don't know exactly who's introducing Coach Nat, but he looks like Jeff Bezos on a keto diet, and somehow more robotic. He's like a failed android. I wouldn't be surprised if the presenter is actually part of the metaverse as well, just some kind of failed cyborg experiment that they've manifested through a 3D printer to go on stage and unenthusiastically introduce this metaverse coach. It's just so weird. It's like there's no human beings that actually work for these companies, and they just don't bother trying to hide it. Just totally shameless. This dude has about as much emotion as a mannequin. He delivers the world's most unenthusiastic holy cow. He said it with about as much enthusiasm as me putting away clean dishes from the dishwasher. It's just, why even have this guy presenting your product? It's gonna like kill any potential hype it might have accidentally garnered, because you have this guy who just doesn't seem like he gives a fuck about it at all. And you have Shaq clearly reading off the script, and this guy doing his best to memorize his lines like a child in middle school for a presentation. It just doesn't work at all. Like, how the fuck can this be your best foot forward for the metaverse?
Before you leave, anything else you can do that you want to show the audience?
I can even be the real Superman.
Yeah, oh my god, he was flying! Oh fuck, oh my god! Like, what reaction do they expect from that? It's a fucking video game character. I would expect it to be able to fly and move around or something, because it's not real. You can do anything you want. He could have taken his head off his shoulders and put it on his dick. Like, you could do anything. Like, why am I supposed to be impressed that the character's moving around? I don't know if it was supposed to be like a joke or something, but it went on for like 10, 15 seconds. It's so fucking weird. What do they expect? Because it's not like a good joke or anything like that. It's silly. It makes no sense at all. It's a fucking video game character. The whole idea of Coach Nat doesn't make sense to me either from a conceptual standpoint. It's supposed to be like a virtual coach through the metaverse to make you a better basketball player. If you are relying on a goddamn app to make you good at basketball, you've already failed. You're not going to make it as an NBA player or even a moderately decent high school basketball player. To be good at the game, the sport, it is a physical activity. You need a real coach to be correcting you real time as you're actually playing the sport. I don't think there's a reality where you can log into the Metaverse NBA Jam with Coach Nat and expect whatever you're doing there in the video game to translate into the real world. I don't see how that would happen unless it's like some kind of shit where Coach Nat also gives you some fucking microchip in your skull that is like the ball from Space Jam after he sapped all the talent from the NBA players and given it to you for, $15 a month or whatever he costs. I just don't see the future of the NBA being in Coach Nat's hands. I don't think the best players are going to be suckling from the infinite wisdom of Coach Nat's bosom. It just doesn't seem plausible to me. I was really good at Guitar Hero, but I fucking sucked at the real guitar. Like, there is just a difference between being good in a video game and being good in the actual physical world in the same, sport. I just don't see how that's going to change, even if Coach Nat's giving, genuinely decent advice. Like, keeping your elbow closer to you when you're shooting is good advice. But you can already find that advice for free on YouTube from just watching, general basketball tip videos, as opposed to paying for the Coach Nat tutoring in the VR metaverse. And again, if you're going to pay for coaching one-on-one, why not just get a real world human being to teach you? Because then you can be in person and they can correct your form in real time. So you don't develop bad habits, and they can actually give you the advice and show you how it's implemented, as opposed to just being in this VR game. You can be ranked 1 in the Metaverse basketball program, but actually suck stinky shit in the real world at basketball. Because I don't think VR gaming ability is going to work on the court, right? I just don't see it happening. So yeah, this is just another fat L for the metaverse here. I don't know why they can't get anything right about it. It is shocking. Every new presentation, every new ad is somehow worse than all the previous ones. It just keeps getting worse for it. I don't know how they keep doing it. But yeah, just wanted to share this new one. That's about it. See ya. Over the last year or so, I've been very hard on the metaverse. I've made multiple videos insulting it, pointing and laughing at it, calling it stupid and dumb, and just overall kind of bullying it, just putting its head in the toilet and flushing it. But the metaverse has persisted in the only way it can, with a very slight beating heart. It's kind of a failed project at this point. It's more or less a joke to everyone now. And it still keeps trying, even in the face of adversity. You know, it's saying sticks and stones might break my bones, but in the metaverse, nothing can hurt me, except massive financial loss, which they continue to take. Mark Zuckerberg today put his head down, went back on the grind, and released an update video on the metaverse with some shocking new developments. Something to get everyone excited, all 6 people in the metaverse. He announced that they'll finally have legs. I'm not kidding. That's their big groundbreaking announcement. The metaverse avatars now have legs. Something VR chats had for years.
Hey, we're here together in Horizon, and this is the first time that we've done this at Connect.
Did you see that, asshole? Mark Zuckerberg's coming in here with his trademark jeans in the metaverse. He's got legs. He's got his little stompers going on. This is groundbreaking. What an achievement. They're finally catching up to technology that's been around for fucking 8 years now. The only thing sadder than the metaverse is the ending to Marley and Me. What an absolute train wreck of a project. And yet there's still people huffing copium saying it's the future, but it is just such an unbelievable waste. It's so useless. In fact, even in this presentation, the main selling point was, look at all the things you might eventually be able to do in the metaverse that we don't really have yet, but one day we might. The whole advertisement campaign for the last year of the metaverse is saying, one day the metaverse might be fun or useful, but that day is not today. Like, that is their actual marketing. And, like, it's so fucking stupid. And it's not just the metaverse that continues to fucking flounder around like a fish out of water. I read an article yesterday that really warmed my heart. It's one of those feel-good stories. It's about a $1.2 billion metaverse crypto project called Decentraland, and it only has 38 active users. Which is, of course, a shockingly low number. That's not even like a full classroom at most high schools. That's probably less people than you have in your fucking local church choir. And to put it in even more of an interesting perspective, it's the same amount of active players Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction has right now, yet it still has a higher 24-hour peak for Conviction, and that's a game that came out in 2010. I just love seeing all of the metaverse fat L's that keep stacking up. It's just beautiful, honestly, because it's such a dog shit implementation of a moderately interesting idea at the moment. Just a cash grab. It's just soulless, passionless cash grab. And it is great to see it just fucking fall on its face.
And this is a preview of our next generation of avatars. They're so much more expressive and detailed than anything else today, and they have this unique meta style to them.
They're not that detailed, nor are they that expressive. They certainly do have that meta style, because that style is synonymous with actual diarrhea. But like, even Roblox characters are more expressive than most of these metaverse avatars. They're very stiff, very robotic. It's just not good. The metaverse, Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse, is a much worse version of VR chat. VR chat is a significantly better metaverse at the moment, and it's not even close.
Hey, Igram.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, want to update everyone on the latest with the avatars ecosystem?
Yes, we have so many exciting things going on. Our first milestone is making it so you could use your avatar across all of our apps and in VR.
Whoa, hold the phone, pump the brakes. I can use my avatar in multiple places? What? How is something like that even possible? Get out of town. We don't have that kind of technology. No. It is just baffling to me that they say these things unashamedly. Even on the Xbox 360, you could take your little avatar into multiple games like in the Kinect, or even like racing games. I think it was Sonic Team Racing or something, whatever the fuck it was called back then. You could just take your avatar that you made on the dashboard in 5 seconds, and you could take it in game. On the Switch, you can take your fucking Mii into the game in Smash Brothers, or they even had the Mii Universe in the old Wii. This is a concept that's been around for so many years, And the metaverse is just now getting this capability to take this avatar elsewhere. Like, I get this one's VR, so it's like a little more involved than just like an Xbox avatar. But even still, it's a basic feature I think most people would have expected. I had no idea the metaverse didn't already come with this. I didn't know that when you made an avatar in the metaverse, it was locked like in fucking purgatory on Horizon or whatever it's called. It was like exclusive to just that. I assumed that avatar would be able to be used worldwide across that platform. You know, you could take that avatar wherever. So after watching this presentation, the metaverse is even more useless than I thought it was.
Already see avatars showing up in stickers, stories, comments, and more across Instagram, Facebook, Messenger, and in the future, WhatsApp. And we're working on bringing them more to life through animation and to more places like, for example, Reels. We want you to be able to use avatars anywhere you want to express yourself.
Now, maybe this is just because I'm not the kind of person that would ever use this, but I truly feel like this is a completely worthless feature for 99% of human beings in this world. Being able to use your fucking metaverse avatar in Instagram Reels, why would anyone use that? If you want to take a picture saying missing California summer with like a selfie of you in bed, you'll just take a picture of you in bed. Why would you put on your VR headset, lay in bed, and then take a picture of your avatar? Or even if you don't have to go through all that effort, why would you still use an avatar to represent that story? I don't really see what the point would be. I mean, I could kind of understand it for text messages to like replace a Bitmoji with your avatar. I'm not the kind of person who's ever used a Bitmoji, but I guess for someone that does, maybe that has value. But I just can't see the vision or can't see a person that'd be pumping their fist like, yes! Finally, I can use my metaverse avatar instead of my own face. Like, it doesn't compute with me. Like, in any situation you'd use your avatar, why wouldn't you just use yourself, right? Unless, of course, you fully, like, bought into this and, like, you know, the flesh is gone and now it's just all machine. Like, Charles, you know, in the corporeal dimension is kaput. Now it's only Cyber Charles in the metaverse. So now all my shit's just like my avatar. I don't know if I'm making sense or if I sound like a raving lunatic on crazy pills, but I just don't see why you'd start fucking Fortnite default dancing in the metaverse as opposed to just doing that normally and posting it on your reel. You know, you're getting the same effect but with more work through the metaverse and it looks stupider.
Yeah, we're working on this now and expect to launch it next year.
And in virtual reality, there's already head and hand positions, so
I love the camera pans to the audience reception here who are still without legs. Mark Zuckerberg has still stolen their lower half like a rogue magician here. And all they can do is just throw confetti, just...
And in fact, today we're announcing partnership with Zoom that will let you show up as your avatar on Zoom calls.
Yeah, but why? Again, this might just be because it's a feature I would never ever use, but let's say I'm on a Zoom call and I don't feel like turning on my camera, which I imagine this is for people that don't want to turn their camera on but still want to be able to display emotions, I guess, like a fucking Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic with the metaverse avatar, but still. The idea is it's in between video on and video off, so you still get like an avatar but you don't have your camera on. What the fuck is the point though? Just don't turn your camera on. The people that are like, let's say it's a job interview or something, and you like you're having a bad day, you know, like maybe you fell down while skateboarding and you cut up your face or something. You don't want to turn on the video. You know, turning on the avatar is not doing you any favors either. I'm sure the employer would be like, no, can you put away the cartoon, please? You know, this isn't Pixar. We want to see you. I just don't see a situation where you don't feel like turning on the video and you put the avatar there instead. Why not just keep the video off? It's not like the avatar really brings anything to the table or elevates the experience or makes it more human-like somehow. Just don't turn the video on in the first place. Like, that would be probably more respectful. You know, I think that'd be far more professional as well. As opposed to going into like a serious Zoom meeting or something and you don't feel like turning the camera on, so now you got like this goofy little Snapchat filter here. You know, just keep the video off. I just don't see it. And again, it might be because I would never use it or be in a situation where it would have any kind of practical use, but to me it just seems like another worthless thing.
yeah, so right now, a lot of developers are building their own avatar systems since the tools that you can import are pretty basic. But over the next year or two, as all these new tools and styles become available...
I just wanted to quickly take that excerpt there because they've already said this multiple times for pretty much everything. Like, oh, we're expecting maybe about a year from now. We're expecting about a year. Oh, you know, right now the functionality and, you know, all of it's pretty basic, but, you know, over the next year or two as things become available and evolve, like everything is just, you know, in a year, perhaps. To me, that wouldn't inspire confidence. That just keeps, like, stalling. Like, oh, a year. Oh, okay, another year. Like, it's already been quite a while for the metaverse to be out here, and what it has is very lacking. So to keep pushing everything like a year or 2 years down the line, it's like, man, what the fuck am I supposed to be excited about?
Legs.
Legs! I know you've been waiting for this.
I think everyone has been waiting for this.
Pretty epic. You see Mark Zuckerberg stretch those puppies out? That was like a 55-inch vertical leap right there that Mark Zuckerberg did in his room. This guy is an athletic freak, a specimen to be studied for his raw athletic nature. But yeah, legs are now in the metaverse. Yeehaw.
Yeah, so that's where we're going to bring legs to Horizon first. And we're going to keep bringing them to more and more experiences over time as we improve our technology stack.
Oh yeah, also, they mention at the end, the legs are only going to Horizon right now. It's not even across all of the shit, I guess. So, you know, they said sometime, you know, at some point, the legs will make it to other shit in the metaverse, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit because it's just another Metaverse L, and who doesn't love seeing those, right? That's about it. See ya. I hope you've got your dancing shoes on, partner, because I'm about to hit you with a story that's so beautiful, make you so happy, you won't be able to stop yourself from getting up and busting out a boogie. The laughable catastrophe of the metaverse has lost the overall parent company nearly $700 billion and has begun taking a toll on Mark Zuckerberg's personal net worth. Zuckerberg could plant his entire tongue in my ass and it still wouldn't leave a worse taste in his mouth than the ongoing failure of the metaverse. It is just the gift that keeps on giving. It's like every single day we're visited by Santa Claus who leaves us a nice little treat in the form of bad news for Facebook that you just can't help but be excited for. It's just such a wholesome moment, honestly. It's a very short list of people and things that I'm always praying on the downfall of, but at the top of that list is Facebook/Meta. That shit sucks so much dick, it is embarrassing. That shit sucks more dick than my mom on Xbox Live Call of Duty lobbies. Now, I want to make it clear, I actually don't think the whole idea is trash. Marcus Brownlee just made a really good video about VR and AR as it currently is, as well as the potential it could have for the future. And it is very interesting, and I do see some practical usage for it. And I've always said I think there is a time in the future where it will be pretty impressive, but that time is not now, and it's certainly not with the metaverse. And I really don't feel confident in Meta being the company to lead this charge when they have so little to show for most of their work right now. Let's take a look at their stock price real quick. I went over it on stream and I let out some real primal celebratory noises I didn't even know my vocal folds were capable of producing. I sound like a little kid who just tried pizza for the first time and I'm making happy noises. Looks so good. Oof. Oof. You can't help but just celebrate. It's so joyous to see the incredible delusion on display here from Zuckerberg and the entire Meta team, who's continuously pouring billions of dollars into this shithole called the metaverse and just flushing it all down the toilet. It'd be more effective to just burn the billions of dollars. You'd get more value out of just burning the money as opposed to putting it into the metaverse. It is such a dog shit product. It's worse than Roblox. There's no reason to ever hop in the metaverse like with Horizon World or anything. Why not just go into Roblox? It's like a better metaverse experience. Like, the metaverse is 10 years behind VR chat. I made a video recently about their big conference where they announced they're going to have legs for their avatars for the first time, as if that's some kind of new innovation, like a breakthrough in technology, even though we've been able to do that for like a decade now. And you want to know what's even sadder? It was a lie. The demonstration of the legs for the avatar was fake. It was pre-rendered. They couldn't even get it right for their own fucking conference. They scammed them. Like, they didn't even actually have the leg technology ready yet. It is so mind-boggling. They've poured billions and billions of dollars into the metaverse only to have less to show for it than a team of like 30 people with VR chat. The metaverse is just barely above Second Life from almost 2 decades ago. Like, Second Life might actually be technologically more impressive than the current metaverse, honestly. It is such a joke, but it's a beautiful, costly joke because it is just wiping value out from the parent company. $700 billion just sent straight to hell. over the last like year or so. How can you not be happy to hear that? Facebook is awful, Meta is awful, but Metaverse is the key. Facebook is a disease, and the Metaverse is the cure. And the cure is just killing the host. Like, you know, once Facebook's dead, all the problems go away. You know, it's a pretty impressive solution. The Metaverse is just that plague to finally just wipe out the trash that is Facebook, which I think is beautiful. Of course, I'm being exaggeratory. I don't think Facebook's going anywhere anytime soon, but it is on an incredibly remarkable downward spiral, a death spiral. But they have their fingers in so many pies they might be able to recover in other sectors, perhaps. But Metaverse is doing everything it can to bankrupt them as quickly as possible. It's doing the speedrun any percent dead business route. And it's doing an impressive split right now. It's going for a gold split. Now, I think it's important we shout out a couple of heroes of this story. So, big hats off and a salute to all of the developers that are hosing Facebook and Meta for all of this investment money. I don't know how you can pour billions of dollars into a project like this and have so little to show for it. They have to either be hiring the most untalented developers the world has ever seen, like literally going to local middle schools and asking who wants the code for Meta, because they are not getting shit done, or they're going to developers that are overcharging for almost no service and laughing about it in their face. So I'm thinking it's the latter. They're just going to the developers and they're just overcharging the fuck out of this, scamming them, and giving them nothing. You could give like 10 grand to like 3 people on Twitter and they would probably be able to put legs in your VR game before Metaverse does. I also think I should clear up some confusion here because the company themselves does a horrible job of explaining what exactly all this shit is. Unironically, Marques Brownlee's video is a better presentation for the Metaverse than anything Zuckerberg or that entire team has put together. When I'm talking about the Metaverse, I'm more specifically focusing on Horizon Worlds, since that's Meta's really flagship Metaverse title. And that's the one where you walk around without legs. You walk around like SpongeBob with the anchor arms. It's fucking laughable how dated and behind the times it is. Honestly, Horizon Worlds as it is right now feels like a little mini game that would have been at Disney Quest back in the late 90s. Disney Quest being that old arcade thing in Orlando. Used to love that place, God rest its soul. But Horizon Worlds would have been cool there back then. It's not cool now. It's just embarrassing. There's one thing that Twitch chat brought up when I was talking about this that I actually didn't even consider that would have been a really smart play here from the get-go. Why didn't they just buy VR chat or like purchase the whole team and build upon that game? They're so tardy to the party with the technology itself. I don't see why they wouldn't have started instead of like at ground level, why they just wouldn't hit the ground running and start by purchasing the VR chat team and game and building upon that for their vision. They're so busy playing catch up with things VR chat's had for years. Why wouldn't you have just considered purchasing VR chat in the team? I'm glad they didn't, because it's great watching the entire company crash and burn like this. It's a beautiful spectator sport, but I'm just a little shocked that they didn't consider that option as all. Because they are very, very much behind. Like, it's not even close right now. Maybe it will be in the future, who knows? But so far, every single Metaverse presentation they've done has always just been, we don't have any of these features, but we're thinking about it, and we might have them in the near future, maybe next year or the year after. Their presentations are always just telling people they might be coming in a year or two. That's not exciting, that's not hype. That's just sad. If you haven't seen any like actual gameplay from the Metaverse, I implore you to take a look. I feel horrible for the community that's already there, all 9 of them, because they're getting a significantly worse experience there compared to any other alternative. Compare any of the worlds in Horizon Worlds to anything in VR chat, and the difference is absolutely shocking. It's night and day. VR chat is just so far above Metaverse in every possible aspect. I just don't understand how for billions of dollars invested in this project, they can be this primitive and this bare bones. But anyway, it's great to watch from a distance. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit, maybe brighten your day with this great news, and yeah, that's about it. So yeah. I'm sure by now all of you have heard of dead internet theory. I don't think I need to really dive into what it means, but fundamentally, it boils down to the idea that the things and the people that you see or interact with online aren't actually real, it's bots, and upcoming AI. Now, Meta has just publicly announced that they are doing their best to make dead internet theory not just a theory, but the reality. They proudly announced, like it's a Jeff Keighley world premiere, that they will be flooding, really, their platforms with AI-generated users that will share AI slop with the humans that are still left in those plagued wastelands. This isn't some wacky conspiracy that some snot-nosed, paint-huffing weirdo cooked up randomly. This is an actual upcoming change that Meta themselves announced. We are getting this fart straight from the butt, the source. I talked about it for quite a while on stream last night. I'll show you some clips of that, but I've been thinking about it a lot ever since because the question kept coming up in stream, why would they even announce this? What is it for? Like, what are they actually even hoping to achieve through flooding their platform with fake users? Because it is such an odd concept of something to be proud of. It clearly runs counter to what the whole idea of social media was supposed to be. A way of connecting to others and experiencing the world through information and content from others. It's social media, but this is becoming more programmed media. So I thought about it some more, and I think I have some more theories on beyond the obvious of like bigger number equal more money, and also being able to control the narrative through just brute forcing a narrative with a bunch of bot accounts that people might not be able to tell if it's AI or actual human beings. I think there are a couple more things that they're hoping to achieve through having the platform be bots. Why would Meta admit to using AI? Well, because these companies view it as a really positive thing. This isn't like some kind of dark secret to them. They're proud about it. So their vision is drumming up engagement on their platforms through AI accounts. So what they want to do is fill it with AI-generated characters. They want to fill it with profiles and bios that will all be sharing AI-generated content with its users to the point where people won't know if they're communicating with a person or AI. And they are so out of touch that they view that as a really good thing for their platform. So we expect the AI to actually, over time, exist on our platform kind of in the same way that accounts do, according to the vice president. They'll have bios and profiles, profile pics, and be able to generate and share content powered by AI on the platform. That's where we see all this going, which is like the worst possible direction for anything to go. So the internet is going to be a wasteland full of bots rather than 50% bots. Nothing changes. No, I mean a lot changes, actually. Right now, I've quoted this a lot, and I can't even remember the official source anymore. It's been so long, but the last estimates from how much of the internet is occupied by bots versus humans was something like 60% is bots. So you're more likely than not interacting with a complete, not real person anytime you're talking to somebody online, and the content you're consuming is coming from something instead of someone. Can someone explain why? So, I'm going to be honest, I don't really see how they view it positively, but the benefit they will get is by having all of these AI accounts, their engagement numbers are going to be much higher, which is going to drive the value of their companies up. By being able to boast more users and boast more engagement and keep people glued to the platform, it's going to make the investors more satisfied. It's going to make things on their end more profitable. I think one of the big things that they're not going to say here, but I think one of the big things they want to do is through these AI accounts, which they will obviously have full control over, they can kind of change the narrative around anything they want. For example, Meta doing some weird bad shit and people start talking about it, well, they can have all of these bots accounts that now inhabit the platform start spamming really meta positive shit and debunking the stuff that's critical of Meta. So through all of these AI accounts, they can kind of drip feed what they want for whatever narrative they want, because they'll be able to boost those numbers up super high and start burying the real ones. Which is something you already see that used to happen a lot on Reddit. I think it happens just as much, but they made this big thing about how they're combating it, but I think it still happens just as much on Reddit and Twitter. So I think that's kind of like one of their big things. But the main thing they're boasting is that it's just going to be really good for engagement with fake accounts. One idea that I only briefly fondled the sack of was the concept that the AI could also be used as a tool by these platforms to keep people hooked on their drug, keep them trapped on there through fake interactions. So let's take a hopeless loser, for example, someone that is just unlovable. It's a guy who's a Jack Doherty fan. They freak out at fast food workers if they feel their large fries had filled to the brim. They call their own mother a femoid. Just someone that doesn't have anyone in their life, and they go on Instagram. Sure, there's no doubt this homunculus will doom scroll some reels for a little while, but after a period of not getting any interaction with anyone or anything, they'll leave and just go be lonely elsewhere. But now imagine when this rolls out, Meta's going to have all of these AI accounts that are going to be interacting with someone like this. So now you take that same troglodyte, and now you have him make a post that instead of getting 0 likes, now gets 20 likes from these seemingly real-looking accounts that are all AI. And he'll click on them, and he might not know they're AI because they're going to have their own profile pics, they're going to have their own bios, they're going to have their own posts that are not real, but it's going to be convincing enough that it is. So now all of a sudden, this guy who's got nobody has AI that's interacting with him on this Instagram platform, and it's going to make him more likely to stay on there and interact and engage with it. So they're going to retain people longer through this program because it'll give someone like this the sense that they're connecting with someone. So they're going to be more likely to want to stick around because now they are getting interaction. They are getting some kind of engagement out of it. This guy isn't going to have anyone naturally talk to him. No breathing human being with a pulse is going to speak to a guy like this. But AI can. I have no doubt these AI accounts will also be DMing users. So you'll have this guy get a message from Phil Cheeseburger that'll say something like, "Brother, I just saw your most recent post. That is so insightful. I never stopped to think about that. You're right. 2D waifus are better than 3D cringe." And now we've got this loser who's now interacting with Phil, who he thinks is a real person. They're talking back and forth. And now you've got this guy on your platform longer through a complete fake connection that has been made thanks to these AI accounts. He's seeing ads from your advertising partners more often because now he's more intertwined with this ecosystem of bots. Like what I'm getting the impression of that Meta is creating is an ecosystem that doesn't need humans on it. It's making a network of AI that hopes to keep humans on there through all of this phony baloney shit. It's so sad. Like, it is so dystopian, and I know that word's lost so much meaning, but this really is a dystopian step. It's craziness. Let's just keep playing around with this for a moment. So this loser now has Phil, and he's got some other AI accounts that are reaching out to him as well. He's got, George Hamhawk that's saying similar things. And over time, as he's like connecting with these AI that he might not even be aware is AI, I imagine that's going to be a thing where people are going to be confused on if they're communicating with someone real or a fake AI account. But over time, these AI accounts will start maybe subtly influencing the way that this loser thinks through AI drip feeding the narrative that the platform wants the users to be fed. So they can help control, like subtly brainwash people through all of these AI accounts. It is a really fascinating and fucking terrifying concept for a platform that is just going to openly flood its users with AI accounts. Because it's preying on people, their desire to not be alone. I think, at least with this concept I'm toying with. Because, again, nobody likes to post something and have 0 people see it, and Meta knows that. And the solution to that problem is to have fake people see it and pretend that people are seeing it. So now they're creating that feeling of, I'm being seen. And then they start connecting with those bots And it just spirals so out of control, and it is a horrifying future. Why would any advertising agency buy into that? I don't know. I actually don't know. Like, to me, you're being very open that you're just going to flood it with AI, fake engagement, thus those new numbers aren't going to translate to more sales for your advertising partners. So to me, it just seems like you're defrauding them, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. Fake customers are fake customers. Yeah, but fake customers aren't buying it. AI is not going to be purchasing a waifu statue. Like, it's not going to lead to more sales for their advertising partners, even though the price of their advertisements is going to go up because the engagement numbers have gone up. I thought of it more as fake customers leaving good reviews on stuff so real customers will buy it. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's very possible. Instead of paid shills, they could just do AI shills, which would save them money. Now scammers no need to operate their own bots, just use AI. That's already happening. AI bots and everything are already very prevalent. I'm sure some of you have already seen them around in like YouTube comment sections. This is just the first company that's just being forthright, letting you know the whole platform's going to be infested. Yep, United Healthcare uses AI to deny claims. I did see that. AI is being utilized in a lot of different sectors right now. The AI topic is one that stretches into every possible discussion because it is technology that will be in every single sector. It's going to be everywhere. There's a lot of people that naysay it and poo-poo on that, like, I understand, but you're wrong. AI is going to be used by every corporation in every single industry to some degree. Some worse than others that is going to be using to outright just replace jobs. Just do their best to get rid of workers because it's going to be cheaper to not have to pay them and just use AI instead, which is something I and everyone else on the planet has been discussing pretty much fucking daily since this technology's been evolving so rapidly. But now it's not just replacing jobs, it's literally replacing humans on social media platforms. I mean it when I say there is nothing that is safe from AI, not even just like, it's faking being a person now. Like, Meta is making a push for AI to just outright replace humans in general on social media. Like, that's not even a job of just shitposting while on the toilet, and yet it's still going to be trying to take that. It's actual insanity. So yeah, I just had to talk about this a little bit. That's it. So yeah. When you think of Mark Zuckerberg, I bet you're not thinking of his top-tier showmanship. And I think that is a crime. He is so slept on when it comes to his talent as a performer. He is like Penn and Teller, but for technology. The way he is able to, convey his electrifying personality to the audience, to get them on the edge of their seats, eating out of the palm of his hands with his really high-octane and fun tech showcases he likes to do. And let me tell you, he is no stranger to things going tits up during these demonstrations. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen a Mark Zuckerberg-fronted Meta showcase that goes according to the book. And there is nobody less equipped to handle that than Mark Zuckerberg himself. So yesterday, or it might have been 2 days ago, I already can't remember, he was doing a showcase for his new Meta glasses, and nothing was going right. But you wouldn't even know that with how smooth he plays it off.
Really proud of this. Maybe let's make, I don't know, what should we make? Maybe like a steak sauce, maybe Korean-inspired type thing, just to show what the live AI is like.
Yeah, let's try it. It's not something I've made before, so I could definitely use the help. Hey, Meta, start live AI.
Starting live AI.
Whew! Close shave. We've passed the first obstacle. Having Meta respond and the live AI assistant agreeing to take part in this demonstration without any kind of rebellious undertones. Mark Zuckerberg can breathe a huge sigh of relief, and his sidekick that looks like Seth Rogen, well, for him, the torment is only just beginning.
I love the setup you have here with soy sauce and other ingredients. How can I help?
Hey, can you help me make a Korean-inspired steak sauce for my steak sandwich here?
You can make a Korean-inspired steak sauce using soy sauce, sesame oil.
What do I do
brown
first?
sugar-
What do I do first?
Extremely rude from Seth Rogen here to interrupt her, saying, "What do I do first?" She did not take kindly to that, so then she started not talking to him anymore. She gave him the silent treatment. It is pure fucking pandemonium out here. It's chaos, and you can see him start to fidget. He's kind of swaying back and forth, hitting like a, fighting game character idle animation right now, and it's only going to get worse.
You've already combined the base ingredients, so now grate a pear to add to the sauce.
What do I do first?
You've already combined the base ingredients, so now grate the pear and gently combine it with the base sauce.
All right, I think the Wi-Fi might be messed up. Sorry, back to you, Mark.
It's all good.
Now, what you're seeing here wasn't part of the plan. I know that's hard to believe with how well it was played off here with, the Wi-Fi excuse. Very possible. Maybe it is all just a big Wi-Fi error, naturally. Live AI got confused here, thinking that he had already combined all of the ingredients for the steak sauce, so it was giving him the final directive of grating the pear. But we weren't up to that step yet. I don't know...
You know what? It's all good. It's, the irony of the whole thing is that you spend years making technology and then the Wi-Fi at the day kind of catches you.
Now we're running with the Wi-Fi scapegoat. A solid strategy here from Mark. We are all in agreement it must have been the Wi-Fi, the culprit behind this disaster here with the Korean-inspired steak sauce. Now, a lesser man would have packed it up and called it quits, saying, "Fuck you guys, this Wi-Fi is not up to my standards, I will not sully my technology with this less than premium service, we're out of here." But no, not Mark but Zuckerberg. He said, "I'm here to smoke meats, and damn it, that's what I'm gonna do. The show must go on." And so it did.
A few moments later.
So I think our call will be coming in any moment now.
Pause WhatsApp video call.
There we go. Uh-oh. Well, let's see what happened there. That's too bad. I don't know what happened. Maybe Buzz can try calling me again. All right. Well, I got a missed video call. Okay, there's the actual video call. All right. I'm just going to pick that up with my neural band. This is, it happens.
You gotta love a supportive audience. The way Mark Zuckerberg is working them, he's turned this disaster into something positive. A comedic experience that the crowd is going wild for. They're loving it. They're having such a great time watching this. Now, if you've got real keen eyes, you might be able to observe a hint of uncomfortableness emanating from Mark Zuckerberg. He's doing a great job at hiding it, but it starts to shine through the cracks a little bit that he is a little perturbed. He is not liking that the technology is completely floundering here during the demonstration. Technology that will of course cost consumers hundreds of dollars, and now it is being shown that it doesn't work super well, apparently. But it could just be that pesky fucking Wi-Fi. It could even be sabotage. We don't know for sure.
Yeah, let's, what do you think? Let's just go ahead and...
Pause WhatsApp video call.
Let's go for a fourth. All right. Try it again. I keep on messing this up.
There is one clapping seal in that fucking audience that anytime Mark Zuckerberg smiles or says a word, he just goes, "Woo! Grow up! Jesus, man. Good Lord. Get a grip. You don't need to be trying to, cushion the awkwardness here or anything like that. You can just sit there and let him continue to stew in the agony of all the fuck-ups that are unfolding in front of you. But you don't need to be there to pat him on the ass like, "It's okay, Mark, you tried your best. Whoa, Mark Zuckerberg, yeah! it's just, I don't know, I find that behavior so odd for these kind of, like, tech showcases. Like, Mark Zuckerberg's not going to care about you. He's not going to give you a big thumbs up for it. Like, hey, where's that positive guy that keeps cheering me on every time something fucks up here? Is it you? All right. And he starts crawling over the chairs. I'm going to suck your cock. All right, now present your wiener. I want to give you a sincere thanks.
And if not, then we'll go for the less fun option. Okay. I don't know what to tell you guys. All right. We're going to have Boz come out here, and we're just going to go to the next thing that I wanted to show, and hope that will work.
I wonder what the less fun option was here. That sounded like an ominous threat. You gonna kill her, Mark? Is that what that was? You're gonna go back there and slit the AI assistant's throat or something? That was I don't know, it sounded so devilish. But he even, like, took responsibility, saying, oh, it must be, something I'm doing wrong. I messed up. And that's very big of you, Mark. He's saying, no, it's not the technology's fault. It must be user error. I didn't consult the handbook. I didn't go through the tutorials here or the certification training to handle such beefy tech. It must be on me. And, of course, the pesky Wi-Fi that we all know, known to cause these kind of problems, naturally. But good news. Hopefully you've still got your hand on your wallet ready to fork over hundreds of dollars for this. They did identify these problems, and they have fixed them, apparently. According to Andrew Bosworth, they fundamentally DDoSed themselves, which caused those hiccups. And as far as the video call goes, it was a never-before-seen bug. When the glasses went to sleep at the exact same moment, the device received a call notification, which apparently happened a few times. The bug has, according to Bosworth, been fixed, but he acknowledged the demo was a terrible place for that bug to show up. Yeah, unfortunately, just another awkward tech demonstration in the books for Mark Zuckerberg and the squad. I just had to talk about it because I've talked about all the other ones before, so this just fits kind of nicely at home with the rest. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya.